Hello, this is Lakota. This is my first video. Now I'd like to talk about the Nintendo Switch, which is an 8th generation gaming console originally released in 2017. It took the concept of a portable console and turned it into a home console with the introduction of a dock for the unit, making it the first true hybrid console. I feel we all need to take a moment and applaud the Nintendo development team for executing this concept. After all, other console manufacturers have made portable consoles in the past, but they really kind of fail when they come to compete with Nintendo in this part of the gaming market. As we enter this 2023, and considering the normal life cycle for any gaming console is roughly about 5 years, we all understand that Nintendo is due for the next iteration of their flagship console. With this in mind, I'd like to compare the Switch with the PlayStation 5 to highlight points where I would like to see some improvements from Nintendo. My first sore point with the Nintendo Switch is actually its graphical interface. It runs off of about 5 gigabytes of the native 32 gigabytes in the original Switch that was released back in 2017. And it has a couple of different applications that really could have probably been combined. This being one of them, where we have the retro games, where you could actually play some of the older classics off of some of the older systems. Nice in some places, and kind of a negative in others. One of the big things that I would like to see is, well, if you're going to put some of the retros on there, why don't you just go ahead and grab all of them? I mean, you do have the databases. We do have news. That's something that could be kind of combined as well. You really don't need a separate application, I don't think. But at the same time, it is okay. The eShop, however, is something that really they could have probably worked on. I mean, again, it's a matter of they could have probably combined some of these different little tabs here because it's pretty much displaying the exact same information. And some of it's also showing the news. But the thing that I really hate is probably their meta tagging. That does not allow for partial word searches for games. I have actually tried to search for a game, just typing in like SHA because I could not remember how to spell the rest of the name of the game, and it gave me no results. Whereas you have to actually put in a full word and then hit enter. It's so kind of a little bit of counterintuitive. Now they do have a good breakup as far as their different genres. And they do have it, where you can search by, age groups and such. That's kind of nice for parental controls. And, of course, price, because, sometimes you just want to look at what's free. Another thing that I and much of the gaming community would like to see is an increase in the console's native data storage. Yes, it allows expanding it with the purchase of a micro SD, but with the current selection of games, we can top out the device's data storage with downloading just like 3 to 5 large games. Now, I was able to purchase a 1 terabyte micro SD today for less than $200 USD, but with the lack of the games from previous generation consoles such as the Game Boy Advance, 3DS, N64, GameCube, and Wii, what motivation do I really have to do this for the Switch? Now let's take a look at the Sony's PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 was released in the winter of 2020, and as we all know, the chip shortage has greatly impacted the rollout of this system to the greater audience in the gaming community. However, they did update their hardware and graphical user interface, and let's take a look at it. Alright, so now we are looking at the PlayStation's GUI, and more specifically the PlayStation Store and how it measures up towards the Nintendo eShop. We still have the same function where we can search by the different genres of games. This is a rather nice thing, and Sony has the corner in the market for a lot of the role-playing games as it is, with Final Fantasy and some other games there. The system does have the storage. It does have a much larger storage than the Switch, which allows for it to run other applications such as various video streaming applications. And one of the things I wanted to point out here is actually the search. The metadata is much better formed, so it does allow for partial searches of words and names. Mind you, Nintendo could really seriously pick that up and fix some of that. But they probably should not invest so much on the media side. Nintendo shouldn't. They have such a large database of games, even older ones. They really should probably go and dig them back up. I mean, with Sony, what we have is like all of the Final Fantasies that were out there. A lot of them have been remastered, and they still have a lot of that. But again, you can do partial word searches. This is something that really, seriously, they need to do, especially whenever you get hold of games that you do not remember the name. You do not remember the name, you do not remember how to spell it. This is really something that Nintendo should definitely go ahead and incorporate in the next iteration of their consoles. Now for other wishes or ideas for the Nintendo Next Generation console. Let's keep the hybrid console concept, because it's good. But please address the issues with the Joy-Cons. The ergonomics, charging, and drift are among the major complaints against these. Looking at the dock, it should include the LAN port that was added to the OLED's version, but could have an overall size reduction. A low-profile solution would be greeted positively, especially since the other 9th generation consoles have become rather massive. Optional data storage could also be added into the dock and allow gamers to take advantage of the dropping prices of SSDs to expand their Nintendo system's memory. Thank you for watching. Please leave in the comments your ideas and suggestions for the Nintendo's next generation console. I'm very interested in seeing what else we would like to see. Thank you.